Hi, my name is Khalid Aziz from Loyalty Real Estate Brokerage. I'm very excited to let you know that a brand new project, high-rise condo project is coming up in Vaughan at Highway 7, the new TTT subway, Vaughan Metropolitan Centre. And I'm very pleased to let you know that today I'm in the office of the builders CentreCourt Development, and I'm with the president of this great developer, CentreCourt Development, Shamez Virani. How are you, Shamez?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm doing well, thank you.
Thank you very much, Shamez. I really appreciate and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to meet you today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Shamez, before we get into Transit City Condos, which I have heard that it would be the tallest condominium in Vaughan. Can you tell me something about the success story of CentreCourt Development?
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been a supporter of ours for a few years now, so I guess some of this will be things you already are well aware of. But for your viewers, I think the story of CentreCourt Developments speaks a lot to really what we're doing in Vaughan as well. But to start, we're a relatively young organization, about 7 years old. We've now done 6 projects in downtown Toronto that are widely known: Peter Street, Karma Condos, Index Condos, Core, Grid, and most recently Access. All 6 of these projects have been overwhelming successes from the sales standpoint, and in the cases of our first 4, we've actually completed, delivered, and finished all of those projects. I think in our relatively young experience, we've been a firm that's become known as an industry leader as a high-rise developer. We've taken a very focused approach to developing our projects, and we've really been committed to the execution of the development. So, where we've worked together on the front end, on the sales side, and the projects you've been involved in, I think you've seen time and time again, we've sold out our projects incredibly quickly, and we've been in the construction mode very quickly thereafter. A lot of projects, a lot of developers have experienced tremendous delays in this market. One of the things we take great pride and great ownership in is actually being able to execute and deliver our projects in the timelines we committed, with the features and finishes that we committed. And ultimately, what we hold ourselves accountable to is how well do our purchasers who bought in at the beginning of our project, how well do they do once they pick up their keys, register the condo, and take ownership of the property. And it's been amazing with Peter Street, with Karma, with Index, with Core. In every single instance, I think every single purchaser that came in day one would tell you today that they're thrilled that they made that decision, that on a relative basis they could have picked from any number of projects that were in the market at the time, but looking back on the decision they made when they made it, they're very happy they went with CentreCourt, and they're very happy that they went with our projects. So it's been a really tremendous period of time for growth of our organization. In that period, since we started 7 years ago, today we're one of the largest high-rise developers in the city. We've got one of the largest market shares in the high-rise GTA market. The future is actually even brighter than...
Just before you continue, I am surprised in such a short period of time. What is the secret of your success? Because all your projects have been hit in the market. They've been sold very quickly, and really you take any project, like you take Index, you take Peter Street, you take Karma, you take Grid, like all the projects are so hot, and they have done tremendously well. So there must be some secret in such a short period of time of the success.
I think that the thing that we do that has allowed us to be that successful is we listen. We listen to what the market wants. We listen, and I talk to you regularly. I talk to players who are active in the market. And we are in a city that's moving at such a pace of growth and of development that the market is looking for different things from project to project to project. So we look at where is there a shortage of housing, what locations are there, and we've identified you have to be close to transit infrastructure and you have to be close to major amenities. And that's something that is very attractive, and there's a huge shortage of housing opportunities in the city. So firstly, we only develop where we're close to transit. So that's one of our core principles. We really believe in that as a philosophy. Secondly, we listen about what suite types people are looking for and what price points people are looking for. We're really strong believers in understanding our market and letting our market decide what the project should be. Some developers and some other players in the market take an approach. They have a vision for the site, and they look at a piece of land and say, this is what I want to bring to this location. We take quite a different approach. We say, what is the market looking for, locationally, product type, and we find opportunities that meet that market demand, and we say no to more sites than we actively pursue, because we ultimately conclude, we have to determine that all of the boxes need to be checked from your standpoint, from your client's standpoint. Otherwise, if we don't have that natural demand for the project, we ultimately won't be successful. So we really listen. I mean, I take a lot of time and effort in understanding where the market is at. The move up to Vaughan is a really interesting one for us. It wasn't one
that's coming into my mind. That you have been so successful in downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
And then I was amazed to listen that you're moving to Vaughan. So there must be some particular reason for that.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd say this is another example to the point that we sort of listen and understand where the market's evolving to. In the city that we're in right now, downtown Toronto is extremely limited in terms of the number of projects that are going to come to market, the number of units that are going to come to market, and people are starting to realize that there is a high-density, high-rise market outside of the central downtown Toronto. And although we were immediately focused for the first 7 years of our existence on core downtown Toronto, we're big believers in what's happening in the Vaughan Metropolitan Centre, and specifically in the 100 acres we're involved in with Smart Centres Place. Wow. And that was a realization that came to us after sort of studying the market and the evolution of where housing is going to be next. Right. We see this as a location where there's going to be tremendous demand for housing, and we're at a location that's right next to the new TTC subway station. So when the opportunity first came across our desk from our partners at Smart REIT, who are developing the 100 acres of the Vaughan Metropolitan Centre, immediately our reaction was, this is quite far outside of where we typically look. But as we studied more and more and more, and we looked into the elements of the plan, we soon became fully bought into the vision of what that area is going to be. And my view today is that outside of downtown Toronto, in our lifetime, the next great downtown in the GTA is going to be in the Vaughan Metropolitan Centre. Because of the transit infrastructure, first and foremost, and for those that aren't familiar, the TTC about 10 years ago decided they were going to extend, and the final destination, or the first stop, however you want to look at it, is going to be located immediately adjacent to our first tower, Transit City. When that announcement happened, and now with all the time, planning, money that's been spent on that TTC subway station, which is going to open in just a few short months from now, well before we complete Transit City, that is the catalyst for everything that's happening in the Vaughan Metropolitan Centre. So the Vaughan Metropolitan Centre is 400 acres right in the heart of Vaughan. It's going to be a high density environment, a mix of condo buildings, office buildings, retail, a true urban centre. And the 100 acres that we're involved with the Smart REIT team, which is called Smart Centres Place, is really the heart of that Vaughan Metropolitan Centre plan. And at the heart of the 100 acres is a central park. Right. And this park is something like we haven't seen anywhere in the GTA in decades. It's an environment that is going to be, I'm not sure if you were out on the streets yesterday, but when the weather is nice, there's such a huge shortage of green space in our city. Absolutely. One of the most amazing things that Smart REIT has done, and I'll be the beneficiary of, is take 9 acres out of their 100 acres, almost 10% of their land, to dedicate it to this central park that's within a very short walk of the Transit City infrastructure. So we've got transit infrastructure with the subway station. There's a York Regional Bus Terminal that's immediately adjacent to our property that's going to be serving bus to all across the York region. We've got the Viva bus line that's going to be located on Highway 7, and then you've got Highway 400. Right. So Transit City, and the name Transit City was really derived from all, thank you, it was really derived from all of the transit infrastructure that we see that's being placed into this small area. And other than Union Station and all the transit infrastructure that's there isn't a place in the city of Toronto, or in the GTA, excuse me, that has this level of transit infrastructure. And the interesting thing about Transit City is, if you looked at Vaughan and you zoomed out and looked at the context of the GTA, so you look, north to areas like Newmarket, south to downtown, west areas like Mississauga, or east to areas like Brampton, you look at that that map of the GTA, Vaughan sits right in the center of it. And because of the infrastructure at Transit City that I just mentioned, you can go north, east, west, south. You can go to Pearson. You can go to Union Station. You can go to downtown Markham. You can go north to Newmarket. You can go to a whole host of municipalities that are all very close to, you know, Transit City. So our tagline for the project is 43 minutes to anything.
Excellent. And so in a few years it will become like, it will get the same importance which Union Station has got now.
That's our view. Our view is there's going to be such an amount of transit users coming in and out of that location every single day, and we're in an environment where fewer and fewer people are depending on vehicles and more people are depending on transit infrastructure, that our whole belief and what the market has shown and in terms of the excitement that's out there for Transit City is that people understand that, people are waiting for that, and you'll never be able to replicate land next to subway stations. That's the biggest thing here. I mean, at the end of the day, you look around subway stations in the Toronto area that are already built and open, there's very little, if any, developable land around them. That's for a reason. Whenever there's transit, there's going to be high density. Whenever there's transit, there's going to be a lot of people who are looking to live right next to that transit.
Absolutely. So now let's get directly into the Transit City condominium project. Is it true it will be the tallest condominium or one of the tallest?
Yeah, it's the tallest condominium currently planned for the York region, not just Vaughan, but for the broader York region.
I see.
It's certainly something that, in terms of the design of the building, it's taking a lot of the high quality design that was started with the neighboring KPMG building. So, just speaking a little bit about the immediate area surrounding Transit City, we have, which was completed about a year ago, a AAA office building with KPMG as the lead tenant. This is also on the Smart Centers Place land, owned by Smart REIT, which is the first office building outside of downtown Toronto that's truly a AAA office building in terms of the quality of design, architecture, and the tenants that are in it. Immediately next to that, to the north of it, is going to be a new office building that's breaking ground any week now, where PricewaterhouseCoopers, the large accounting firm, is the lead tenant there. And included in that same building is a 100,000 square foot YMCA facility that's going to contain state-of-the-art fitness facility, pool, gym, daycare, a 10,000 square foot library, truly a community center. And this development, which is starting construction any week now, is immediately next door to Transit City. When we saw what was happening with the KPMG building, or sorry, excuse me, with the PricewaterhouseCoopers building with the 100,000 square foot YMCA, a light bulb went off and we said, this is an unbelievable amenity to the neighborhood. And if we can come up with a partnership with the YMCA whereby all of the residents of Transit City will have a membership and access to the YMCA, we'll be creating an amenity facility unlike anything else in the city. And pleased to report that we've come to that arrangement, and every unit in Transit City will have a membership to the YMCA, which I think was unparalleled in terms of amenities and access that are immediately adjacent to any of the projects. So we've got, our building is going to be next to two AAA office buildings with high caliber tenants and high caliber employees living in them, plus a community center. So in this very small environment, you've got an incredible amount of exciting infrastructure between the office, between the transit, between the community center. And our vision for residential, which was really spurred by the vision that Smart REIT has for the broader land, was to create a truly world-class residential tower. To not be comfortable and complacent with some of the other product that we've seen developed in the bond market, but to really take an outlook that between all of these resources that are going to be there, the 100 acres of Smart Centers Place is truly going to be a world-class neighborhood, a world-class destination unlike anything in Toronto. So we need to start with the best location, which is Transit City, and we need to start with the highest quality of design, which is, you know, if you look at the development of the design and in all the marketing and rendering materials we have, I think people can quickly see that we've taken the highest quality materialities, or building, you know, a high quality building with unbelievable design elements to it that is going to be a true iconic structure in the York region and is going to set itself apart from what's happening at Vaughan. That's the architecture and the design of the building. Inside the building, we've done something that I'm really excited about and I think is really going to elevate the quality of life and the experience of anybody that lives in the building day to day. And that's the arrangement we've come with the lobby. We wanted to create an environment that's akin to a lot of the high-end hotel buildings that you see in Toronto and around the world, where the lobby becomes an extension of the living room. It becomes the building's living room and becomes an environment that people come in for a coffee in the morning, a bite during the day.
It's a first impression.
The first impression, but also an inviting place. So we've come to an arrangement with Buka, who is one of the King Street Food Company, who owns Buka, which is one of the highest end food companies that has great service, great food, great culinary experience, and we've come to an arrangement where they're going to operate in the lobby of Transit City and offer a morning to evening menu of coffee, drinks, food, and it's going to be an environment that, it's unbelievable in terms of the amenity that it's going to offer to the people that are living there. It's going to be a place where residents use
people that
regularly.
feel like living in a luxury hotel, 5-star hotel, this type of.
That's what they're getting in the lobby experience, and you'll see the renderings and images in time. But really, we haven't spared any expense in making this a truly world-class lobby that's going to rival all the luxurious 5-star lobbies. And we're going to have an unbelievable operator that's going to be creating a daily environment and experience for all of our residents.
Excellent. Shamez, at this point, I would like to add and appreciate your marketing partners, Cornerstone, Sharp, Johnson, and entire team.
Yeah.
They are really very professional. We had very successful, very good experience with them, and thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to work with them. In the last, Shamez, would you like to give some message to our viewers?
I would just simply say that, and I say this, it may be repetitious each project, but based on the early indications, I think you would agree this is going to be a project that sells out very quickly.
Absolutely.
That there's significantly more demand than we may be able to satisfy.
Right.
I would simply say that people that are working with you have a leg up in terms of being able to access the inventory. I would just say act quickly, act definitively, and hopefully you'll have an opportunity to participate in this project, because we're coming. There's a tremendous amount of demand, and there's not a lot of time to second guess your decision. So I would simply say, because every time we close a project, I get a million phone calls saying you sold that out too quickly, and I say, well, I gave fair warning before we came to market. It's feeling just as exciting and just as buoyant as ever before, and we feel like there's going to be a tremendous response.
I really appreciate Shamez for considering us as one of your insiders, and we'll be having access. So Shamez, thank you very much. I really appreciate for giving us the opportunity and sharing your views and informing about the Transit City. So Transit City would be one of the best projects what I feel like at this time. And in case if you want any further information about Transit City, you're most welcome to call me. My number is 647-865-2949, or you can register at my site, which is on the screen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shamez. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.